We have Mega Garchomp coming into Pokemon Go on Saturday, November 11th from 2 until 5 p.m. So we're going to go over all the top tips, strategies, and counter guide to help you guys max out on this Pokemon and get the most Mega energy for your buck in Pokemon Go. Welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Wow, the Mega Garchomp debut is very exciting. So Mega Garchomp in Pokemon Go, fantastic looking shiny. The non-shiny, pretty good. The shiny version of regular Garchomp, but the shiny version of the Garchomp in the Mega form is absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to do a video this weekend because I have a very good one that I can't wait to show as a Mega. The event bonuses are going to include increased remote raid cap from 5 until 10, all the way from basically midnight on the 11th, all the way until midnight, turning over into the 12th. So you have a grand total of 10 remote raids you can do. Not only that, you're gonna get 5 additional raid passes after you complete your first one. So I suggest you guys don't do a raid on Friday, spin a gym, keep that raid pass, and then bring that into Saturday, and you will be able to get 5 additional for a grand total of 6 here, which will get you a decent amount of Mega energy. And not only that, there's gonna be an increased chance of you getting shiny Garchomp from Mega raids for this Pokemon. And just a reminder, guys, it is Pokemon Go, and an increase in shiny odds could literally go from 1 in 60 to 1 in 59, and they can consider that an increase in shiny chances. So let's please keep ourselves in check as far as our shiny odds. However, when they did do this with the Hoenn Megas, we did get a decent amount of shiny Pokemon coming from those Mega raids. So we'll have to see how this does play out. And not only that, there's going to be an exclusive $5 ticket, which will run from 2 all the way until 10 p.m. on the 11th, which will yield you 8 additional raid passes throughout the day for a grand total of 14, including those other 5. If you go with the one beforehand, you will get a grand total of 15. So that is a ton of Mega energy, and $5 is not really that steep here. You're going to get an increased chance of getting XL rare candy coming from raids, but once again, they did play this thing during Halloween where you're like, okay, increased chance of rare XL candy, and guess what, guys? We didn't get any for that entire bonus. I literally got one for catching over 300 costume Pokemons. So let's keep our expectations subdued when we're doing here and make sure that we're playing for what we are actually for sure getting when you do purchase this ticket. And let's say that those raid passes, I think they're pretty worth it, because not only that, you're going to get some increase to the XP. You're getting a 50% increase. So every single time you do a Mega raid, you will be getting on a lucky egg 30,000 XP, which is pretty good here. And then you're going to get 2 times Stardust from raid battles, which is not really that impactful. That's just, I guess, the micro bonus that they're throwing in at the end. And before we jump into the counter guide, I want to go over the bundles that they are advertising here. So in the web store, they're saying that for $4.99, you can get 3 remote raid passes and 2 premium battle passes. Or if you do purchase them in the Pokemon Go store, you're going to get the same exact thing for 595 coins, which does seem at face value that you would if you're paying 1 for 1, dollar for dollar. Obviously, it would cost more if you purchase it through the game for the coins than it would in the shop for the $5. But to optimize this, let's go ahead and check this out, because I always suggest that you guys spend $100 when you go into Pokemon Go through the web store, because that will give you 15,500 Pokecoins, which changes the game here, because if you pay $1 per 100 coins and you do it in slow increments, you're only going to get a grand total of 10,000 coins. But if you do it this way, you're getting that extra basically $55 worth of coins for a 1-to-1 ratio basis. So obviously, if you're using $4.99, you get pretty much 20 purchases of this package for $4.99. But if you go to the Pokemon Go web store, you spend the $100, you get 15,500. That's going to transition right into your game. So as soon as you open your game, you will be able to go and purchase this box. So if we take this 15,500 and we divide it by 595 coins, you're going to get a grand total of 26 box purchases. So it is much better to purchase this with the coins through the Pokemon Go web store and then transition that into the game, because you're going to get an additional 6 boxes. You're saving money, which is the point here, and I'm always about you guys saving money in Pokemon Go, because just remember, you can only use a certain amount of remote raid passes. So although you might say, oh well, I'll just spend that $5, while that might be okay, guys, you're still saving money in the long run, and that is always my goal for you guys, to optimize and be most efficient. So now let's get into the counter guide, because we have the Mega Garchomp. So Mega Garchomp is going to be a ground and a dragon type Pokemon, which is going to make it weak to a few things, which include a double weakness to, can you guess it? Ice. Double weak to ice, because ground as well as dragon are going to be single weak to ice, dual making it weak right there. So those will be the main Pokemon counters that we will focus on. It's also going to be weak to dragon and fairy in the singular form. And I'm going to be putting out a best of the best of this Pokemon to optimize to see, is it going to be worth your time, energy, and effort to raid for this Pokemon, and then where does it fit into your teams? And all the moves coming off of this Pokemon are going to be be either dragon or ground for the most part, except one move, which will be Fire Blast, which is a fire move. So as far as the 100% IVs coming from raids, obviously it's going to be caught as a regular Garchomp 2264 or weather boosted in either windy weather or sunny weather. More than likely, I will be getting a sunny weather boost in here in Southern California, and that's going to level 25 at 2,830. And just a reminder, guys, that Earth Power on this Pokemon is a Calm Day move. So if you get a really good quality, let's say a Shundo, a Hundo, a 98 Shiny, a 98 Regular from a raid, in order to get the best moveset on this Pokemon, Earth Power, which we will talk about in the best of the best video, it will require an elite TM. So let's transition to how many Pokemon trainers will it take to take down this Pokemon, and it will be a grand total, according to Pokébattler right now, 1.17 trainers with level 40 counters, which leads me to believe that if you have extremely strong counters, which is going to be, we'll see here in a second, you probably can solo this Pokemon. The only problem with soloing these Pokemon is that you're not going to get the most optimized Mega Energy, and that is my goal overall, is to get as much Mega Energy for these Pokemon as possible, Mega Evolve a bunch of them, because it's a good typing, guys. It's a Dragon and Ground dual typing Mega, which is valuable when catching Pokemon in the wild, including getting more XL candy of these both typings. If you have an event, let's say, for example, we have the Drillbur spawning in the wild, then we have Axew spawning in the wild, you want both of those XL candies. If you have the Mega level 3 of the Garchomp, it will optimize that both. Which then leads us into the counters. Number one, I'm sure you guys can guess it, it's going to be Shadow Mamoswine with Powder Snow and Avalanche. Extremely strong Pokemon. 20 deaths with 288 seconds to take this down, which then leads us into the second Pokemon, which was very surprising, and it's going to be a Mega. It's going to be Charm and Triple Axle, which is a brand new ice move on the Mega Gardevoir in spot number 2. But let's talk about this Pokemon because you guys are going to be attacking it. So what would be the best way for you guys to be able to get as much XL candy from this Pokemon? Remember, it is a dragon and a ground type. That would be using a dragon or a ground type Mega, which is going to take us into spot number 3, which is going to be Mega Rayquaza. You might as well use this Pokemon if you have it at Mega level 3, because using Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe will help you take this Pokemon down the fastest, and it will yield you the most XL candy coming out of this Pokemon. The other Pokemon that you can use is going to be Mega Salamence, Mega Altaria, Mega Charizard X, Mega Sceptile, Mega Latios, Mega Latias, Mega Steelix, Primal Groudon, or we also have the Mega Swampert. Okay, so there's a lot of Pokemon out there to be able to use. Best case scenario is going to be this specific Rayquaza, because you can also use it in the top 3 as a attacker, which then leads us into spot number 4, which is going to be Shadow Mewtwo with Psycho Cut or Confusion and Ice Beam. In spot 5, we have Ice Shard and Avalanche on the Shadow Weavile, which will be a very glassy Pokemon. In spot 6, we have Powder Snow and Weather Ball on the Mega Abomasnow, which, to be fair, using a Mega Abomasnow, if you guys do want to optimize the XL candy, while you won't get as much XL candy coming from this Pokemon, which I am totally cool with, if you do have one person in your party use it as spot number 1 and spot number 2, you guys will absolutely demolish this, especially if you are using party play bonuses, because guys, that really helps out quite significantly. In spot 7, we actually have Mega Garchomp with Dragon Tail and Outrage. In spot 8, we are going to have Mega Glalie. In spot 9, we have a budget counter, which is going to be Powder Snow and Avalanche on the Mamoswine. In spot 10, Ice Fang and Avalanche on the Galarian Darumaka. In spot 11, we have Frost Breath and Ice Beam on Shadow Articuno, followed by Ice Shard and Avalanche on the Weavile. In spot 13, we are going to have the Shadow version of the Walrein, if you guys do choose to use that. And then we have Baxcalibur, Glaceon, and then Mewtwo. So there's a lot of budget counters in here, a lot of really good Pokemon in here. Obviously, the Shadow Mamoswine will do you the most justice. Okay, so that is going to be everything you need to know about taking down this Pokemon. Good luck out there, guys. Optimize and choose. Do you want to take this Pokemon down the fastest, which is what I suggest, because we already have Calm Day. I have so much Gible XL candy. I am not worried about that at all. But at the same time, if that is something you're worried about, which I suggest you probably don't worry about it, because at some point, even in some event, there'll probably be a dragon event and the Gibbles will be spawning everywhere. Then you can use these Mega Pokemon and catch the Gibble in the wild. I suggest you guys take this Pokemon down the fastest and optimize as much Mega Energy out of this Pokemon as possible, which finally leads us to the weather condition. What do we do with the weather? Okay, so for sunny weather, we're gonna get a boost to all of our Mega Garchomps in all the ground moves, which doesn't really affect us that much. But at the same time, we will catch Garchomp at level 25, which is pretty cool. Number 2, we also have the windy weather. Windy weather is going to affect this Pokemon because it's going to boost all of the dragon counters, and it will also boost the dragon moves coming out of here, which will hit the dragon counters hard. So we're gonna have to be a little cautious about that. But at the same time, once again, we will catch Garchomp at level 25. And then finally, we are going to be getting snowy weather, because that's pretty much all we're using here. Snowy weather, if you guys guys do have snowy weather, I'm sorry for you, but you are going to be getting a lot of power coming out that Mega Garchomp, and you will be able to boss out a solo, in my opinion, with that condition. So with that said, guys, that's going to do everything about Mega Garchomp, the Mega Garchomp Raid Day, and how to optimize it in Pokemon Go. So good luck out there, everybody. This is a great quality Pokemon. I have the best of the best coming out very soon to help you understand where this Pokemon sits in Pokemon Go. Thank you guys for being here as always. To all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.